Hey guys, this is David from Vanguard, doing another match video. I know it is kind of weird, you don't see mats starting off, but it's going to be Eradicators versus Eradicators, which, I mean, it is a different build. It's not exactly the same. It's going to be Sweet Command versus Dragonic Descendant with other mixes. So, further ado, I am going to start about now.
Stand up, Vanguard.
Alright, so I'm going to start off with Draco Kid, Eradicator, and then he's going to start off with Eradicator Linchu. Just standard start. We are just going to make basic simple jabs. Just going to exchange damage. At this point, we don't want to go too aggressively because we are both aware that we are running Eradicators. He's going to attack with his Vanguard. Usually I would have guard, but I decided to take it. I was predicting him not to use Linchu's effect, hopefully, because I thought he was, but I was hoping not to because I really wanted to save a booster, and the opponent wants to conserve his Linchu for something else. And then I think I'm just gonna go for a regular attack because I have no cards to get rid of Linchu at this point. He does not set out other rears, so I can't use any Cho-Os, and I don't have enough damage for Dragonic Cardfight. I hit a heal trigger, so I am at no damage while the opponent's at 2. So I have quite the advantage at this point. Usually the opponent would have got into Void Sword or Gauntlet Buster, but unfortunately he only had Dragonic Descendant, which is a better card at the end game. At this point he's gonna set out more reserves because he can't push early game. So he's gonna drive check, he hits a draw trigger, and then he's just gonna get some cards back, and then pushing more damage. I decided to take more damage at this point because I want to conserve my cards at this point. For me, it would have been better if I got into my Sparkhorn, but I mean, it's whatever. I got into Void Sword, so Void Sword is actually pretty good for this spec also. I'm going to use Dragonic Descendant. I'm going to get rid of Linchu because it is an actual threat to my shield keys. So I'm going to attack for 16 because the opponent does not have 3 or more damage.
60.
Usually if it was me, I would have just took it. So yeah, he does take it. I attacked the rear instead because I know he was just going to take it.
It's a crit.
But I mean, I hit a critical trigger. I just give it to the rear guard. The opponent is basically going to go for 15. So he doesn't want to hit unnecessary damage. So I know some players at this situation would have took damage. He's going to send out triggers because he knows he has to push at this game. For me, I kind of conserve that. Okay, so he's been hitting a lot of triggers. He gets into his Dragonic Descendant and get rid of my Shuki anyways, and then probably with his rear he's gonna attack mine because that's the only thing he can attack. And then it goes for 16. I decided to take damage. So he does hit 2 crit 3s on the way. I had to 5 hit a critical, so I get an extra 5. So at this point, I know that the opponent doesn't have any good cards in his hand. Usually I would have pushed, but knowing that he is running Eradicators, he can get rid of my rear really easily. So I decided to make some aggressive attacks. I'm gonna use Cho-O, get rid of one of his interceptors. I'm gonna try to make holes for him so he has to fill up. I'm gonna attack for 16. He decides to take this one up. So he takes it, he's going to be at 3 damage, and then I'm going to attack his rear because I want to minimize his attacks, because minimizing attacks actually considers a lot of cards later on. And then I think the opponent is going to try to maximize his attacks if possible, so he's going to create another column. Taking his time.
So we're not letting each other set up shoot keys right now.
Right, so yeah, he does set up another trigger. This really caught my eyes because I knew that he hit most of his triggers at this point, so, well, I mean not most of it, but a lot of it already. I decided to guard for 15 at this case because I don't want to take unnecessary damage, or 20. The opponent does get into nothing, and then he is going to attack for 16. I decided to take this because I have Sweet Command in my hand. So I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna retire the opponent's cards and gain some pluses. This it's gonna help me a lot. I get into Sweet Commander, use the Break Breath effect, get rid of it, and then use Sweet Commander's effect and fill block 2 and draw a card. So I did get rid of, I did minimize his attacks once more. It was a hard plus in this case, and my Vanguard does get a 10k, so he is attacking for 30. It's gonna be tough to Vanguard. I think he is gonna take most of my attacks at this point because I am at break right state. I have a heal trigger luckily, so I can use Sweet Command's effect once more. But the opponent is not a bad player himself, so he is not gonna let me at the 5 damage, so I can use my Sweet Command's effect. So the opponent's actually gonna make some plays, avoiding me having 2 Counterblast open. So just in case I could use Dragonic Death Sights once more, or using Sweet Command's effect once more. I decided to take it. I thought he was going to hit a crit, but unfortunately he didn't, so I couldn't get that 5. And the opponent is just going to probably attack from my rear because he does not want me to use anything to retire his units and get pluses off it. He probably is going to go for my 12k because it is a much bigger threat. This video is kind of shit. Take kind of long. Just gonna make a regular attack. I think I'm gonna use just regular attacks because, I mean, at this point I want to conserve some cards and use the effect when the opponent has a full field. I drive check into a perfect guard and a 5k. I'm gonna attack their rear guard. Like I said, minimizing attacks does fully conserve and keep up the game. The opponent's at 5, so he could probably use his Limit Break if it's possible. So he sets up another attack because right now with his hand he doesn't want to use too much cards because he knows he has to do that next turn. So he's going to use his Demolition Dragon, get rid of my Interceptor, probably attack, and use Limit Break, and then give all powers to the rear, depending on what he hits. So he's going to attack for 16.
16 to Vanguard.
I decided to use a Perfect Guard, and I think the cards were too good in my hand, so I decided to discard a Perfect Guard instead. Which, I mean, some people might say, why did you discard a Perfect Guard? But, I mean, some cards you just have to use and conserve, but some cards you just have to get rid of for better cards and more sacrifice. He's going to use his Limit Break, discard 3 Eradicator cards. I am actually quoting this because there is situations where he couldn't use his Limit Break because he did not have Eradicate cards in his hand. He is attacking for 11 with the crit. I decided 10k guard because, I mean, I've seen him hit his triggers most likely and use it, so I know he didn't have too much triggers. The opponent decides not to attack me at this point because he does not want me to retire his front row. So, which was a really good play in my case, so I couldn't use cards roughly. Then I just sent out a draw trigger, use Cho's effect again, retired the Interceptor. I'm probably going to use my Demolition Dragon to get rid of his. I'm probably going to realign that. Alright, there you go. And attack. The opponent decides to Perfect Guard it. So at this point though, I do have the upper hand because I've been retiring and getting my Break Rod and using Sweet Command's effect, and I've been minusing the opponent a lot. So this game, it actually did depend on the Break Ride. I got into my Break Ride, so I did get the 10k plus and got to retired cards. So I did really hard minus him at this point. He is deciding what cards to conserve because he is making a risk where he should make more attacks or conserve some cards. He does. Oh, okay, so he decides to make some columns on the rear instead of conserving some cards. He's gonna set out. I guess he's setting out the trigger in the front. Okay. I guess he'll hit. He's hopefully thinking that he'll hit any triggers on the way and give it to the rear. He's gonna attack for 16. I am. So the opponent thought I didn't have a perfect guard, but I guess I did have another one. So a little easy. So unfortunately for him, he drew into Dragonic, that site where he can't discard and use the limit break effect. He's gonna get attacked to rear because he doesn't want a useless rear just standing in front. He's gonna probably attack my interceptor and try to go for an attack. And then the other column 17, so
17.
he just goes for my other one because he does not want me to get another attacker out. This was really annoying for me because he wouldn't hit me at 5, so I couldn't use Sweet Command's effect. So I just set on another card, tried to go for another column. I just go for 16. The opponent decides to guard. No, he just took it because he only had 3 cards. Okay. So in his case, he'll think and gamble. He knows that I haven't been hitting triggers at all, so I mean, I've been hitting triggers, so he knows that I didn't have any triggers in the deck too much. 17 10k guard. Now the opponent is making his move. He's gonna put it back and then set another card out and try to make a maximize attack. And he's going to use Dragonic Death Side to, of course, get rid of my Shuki because it is going to be a bigger threat to him.
16.
At this point, I decided to gamble as well because, I mean, I didn't have too much cards. And luckily, he didn't hit any criticals, so I am finally at 5 damage. Now I can do stuff.
17
I decide to guard, and then he goes for a rear, which was another 10k guard. So, easy peasy. I did have a Sweet Commando. I mean, at this point, it's going to be a finishing point where I'm just going to retire everything and then try to gain pluses and minus the opponent at the same time. Yeah, but as you see, this is going to be pretty much game because you've seen the opponent drawing 2 has only 3 cards and I have 3 attacks. So, yeah, this is pretty much going to be game. I'm just going to see the end of it, I guess. The opponent decides to take it, so
check.
even if I didn't hit that trigger, I mean, it would have been the same result because the opponent didn't have too much. But yeah, that's game. Hopefully you guys like the match, and hopefully I did my best explaining the game and try to estimate what the opponent tried to do. If you like the video, just comment, rate, subscribe down below. Of course, subscribe up there or wherever at, and until next week, image the victory, I am Vanguard.